No, this was like 13 years ago. Everyone was into Geometry Wars 2 in like the Call of Duty commentary scene, and Hutch had like the #1 score at the time. Like he had like 2 million or whatever. And Kyle, like, because I was friends with all of them, so I downloaded it and I could see the scoreboard and be like, Hutch, 2.2 million. And it was like Kyle, like 780,000. And he was also up there. And then one day I logged back in just to see, and it was like Kyle, 31 million points. Hutch, 2 million points. And like he didn't just beat the record, he like quadrupled up on it.
Swamped it.
Yeah. And then Kyle had to go out there and be like, yeah, I just suddenly got great at this game.
Now we gotta have the video.
And Hutch was like, you paid someone to play for you. You paid someone to play for you. And
No,
Kyle's
no,
like,
no.
no, I didn't. Liar. Speaking of like cheating that way, do you remember like
PG
Slush? Did you play Pokemon on the Game Boy, like
Red?
Red and Blue and that?
Yeah.
Do you remember cheating in that? Like the way that you could infinite level in Pokemon Red was that you would give. Well, you could do the missing no thing, or you could, if you wanted to do it regular, you could put a bunch of Pokemon in the daycare center, and then what it did is it would give you 1 XP for the Pokemon in the daycare center for every step your character took. And so I would have like a wait on the forward button and just have them, like I had like a Rube Goldberg machine with like a fork at an angle to push down on the up thing so that he was constantly walking against the wall. And then like I'd have brand new batteries in it and everything. And then I'd wake up the next morning and be like, oh, my thing grew 40 levels because of this. But every once in a while you would wake up and you would realize that like right after you had set it, it had come off. And you were like, no. And so you'd pick it up in the morning like, no,
not
maybe I got some XP. And because I'm supposed to battle Jared at lunch today. Like, and I needed my Dragonite.
That's what I would do in Oblivion. I would use rubber bands to make my Xbox controller such that I was sprint swimming in circles. And I'd throw my guy in a pond somewhere and leave him out there sprint swimming in circles all day. I'd come back, his strength and endurance or whatever be maxed out. It's great. Great.
It's funny because like you used to do that in Tarkov, like because back when when they didn't have all the limits and shit, I used to just put a like a macro on that would just smash spacebar, and then I just load into a raid and then just walk off and go and have a wank or whatever. And then you come back and he'd be dead, but you'd gain like fuckloads of strength. And so heaps of people, like, no one will talk about it. They'll be like, oh, I didn't do that. I like, because they're, there's all that like fucking the virtue signaling of being the bigger person in that community. But like every fucking stream
takes a while to build though.
Forever.
It doesn't.
Yeah. That tells us a little something about how long it takes Slush to wank.
Yeah. No, it's because back in the day, it didn't take that long. They nerfed it because people kept doing it. And then when you had max strength, your character was just like so infinitely fast compared to other people. Like you could run and jump like across like a 2-lane street in the game. So it's like, it looked fucking hilarious. Like
does it change your speed? Strength?
Yeah, well, it used to give you like 200% run speed, and then when you jumped, you look like a fucking springbok. So you just like fucking fly around, just
and wait.
Like, boom, boom. It's like
it makes your gear not weigh anything.
Yeah,
like
it used to be
on your gear.
It used to be like extremely overpowered. Yeah, it did. It made it so none of the shit you were wearing weighed anything. Only your backpack.
Isn't that a new thing?
No, that was back in the day, but you just probably didn't get it.
Taylor, to give you some idea how long it takes to get maximum strength in Tarkov, I've never gotten maximum strength in Tarkov. I've had 100 million rubles. I've been level like 50 something. I've never gotten to fucking.
You should have cheated.
I should have. It's so
I used
long.
to cheese it a little bit. So the way it is now, when you first enter a raid, better yet, every raid you can only gain so much strength a little bit.
Yeah,
and oftentimes if you don't cheese it, you don't even hit the possibility that raid could have done. So I just start with like empty gas cans, which aren't worth very much. And then once I hit it, I throw them away. What'd you say? Oh, shotgun shells.
Shotgun shells. You just fill out the backpack with shotgun shells. But it's like, if you don't get max strength these days, it's usually from like if you start the wipe and then just start like fucking going in super geared every time, then you'll usually end up with max strength by the time you hit like level 60.
And no endurance.
Yeah, and then no endurance. So then you have to level that up. But once you get strength, like to a certain point, then you start leveling endurance faster. So it's like
it's about the wife, huh?
End
of July, I read, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna play again until they like do something about cheating or have some way that.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I will either.
Really?
They're good.
Yeah. You're world champion Tarkov.
Oh, that's coming in very.
Your mic's real bad.
It just came. Just came back.
I don't know what happened. Darn.
Very,
yeah. They need some sort of like. I'll give you my cell phone or whatever you need to. Like fucking. I'll send your driver's license, passport, photos, whatever, for you to know that I'm me and I don't cheat. You can put a fucking speedometer on the side of my rig, whatever. And I want to be able to play in servers where everybody else took that as seriously as me, the anti-cheating thing, where everybody else signed up for the rectal exam, just like me, just for the privilege of playing with people like me, regardless of our skill level. I don't care if I lose more in those servers.
Yeah.
At least I know it was real. The idea
that's the problem with that game is like you can never know, and it's so buggy that you're like sometimes you die and you're like that cunt was definitely cheating, and then you see the death screen and you're like, oh, I know that guy, and then you go to their stream and you watch back the clip of it and you watch it side by side to yours, and it's like we were watching two completely different fucking movies, man. Like this is like just the dumbest shit in the world. So I'm like, I put up with that so much. I'm just like, I can't be fucked anymore. I'm done with it. I'll come back in the future at some stage probably, but at this stage I'm just like, nah, fuck them.
I didn't know like cheating at the professional level of video games was as bad as it was. I saw this was from a few weeks ago, some professional Call of Duty player in the middle of a tournament, like physically at the gaming center or wherever they do this. He's there. He's physically there, and he's cheating with mods and like gets caught because like I guess they have some sort of like procedure that the game detects at this point if you're doing something like that, and it'll just boom, like as soon as it detects it, it kicks you out. And so this guy just got kicked out of like a professional Call of Duty match because he was cheating. And it's like, I can't imagine. Are people getting away with that? I feel like there's no fucking way you're going to get away with cheating in front of everyone.
So Slush would know more about this than me, but there's conspiracies that there are Twitch millionaires who are terrible at video games. Really? Twitch millionaires who are known for their prowess at this game or that game, whether it's Call of Duty or Tarkov or Rust or whatever. Not Rust.
Cheating or letting someone else play for them?
No. Running cheats actively while they're streaming. Like that you can't see. They're on their side. Like maybe they've got.
Would be so hard to cheat. Like I feel like I don't know.
No, well, there's lots of ways to do it. Like for a while, there was a radar. There is a radar cheat. In a lot of games
there was an Australian Tarkov streamer that had a radar going. We always joke about it. Like there's this clip of him and he's running towards the front of interchange, and he like looks in the direction of Ollie there, and he goes 5-man front Ollie, and you watch the clip. It's fucking not possible, and he was 100% using radar. And like all his mates used to joke about it on stream and shit like that. But he got fucking roasted and then never came back and stream. But I reckon there are people, but I don't think it's the people that you'd think it is. Like a lot of people, I always hear like, Landmark's cheating or something like that.
I don't think Landmark's cheating.
Nah.
No,
I just like I think that there'd be smaller streamers if it was a streamer doing it. Like at that stage, like at his stage, like he's probably making like fucking 100K a month. Why would you risk that? Like
I was suggesting not him, but maybe there's a Twitch person who was never any good at games. They're just a personality who began with cheats from the very beginning.
And so
and so you'd never.
I just used him as an example because I have people come into my chat and go, "He's cheating" because he's
he's the sickest. Because he does crazy shit on a. He's the most consistently sick at that game that I've seen. Yeah. Like the sort of weird, because he'll do things that are. It's not the play to make, it's the play to make a highlight. He'll do that kind of stuff sometimes. He'll be like, normally I would sit right here and wait and be patient, but you guys want to see me go in there and just fucking kill them all, even though they're all aiming at that door. They're all waiting on me.
Yeah.
What if I go in there and just kill them all?
Pushes everyone and wins, like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Kyle, you know this
there's
firsthand
very
with
few
Geometry
people
Wars.
that can do that. Like,
yeah, if it's too good to be true, it might be.
That was so fucking. So Slush, if you don't know, this was like fucking 13 years ago. Everyone was into Geometry Wars 2 in like the Call of Duty commentary scene, and Hutch had like the #1 score at the time. Like he had like 2 million or whatever, and Kyle. Like, because I was friends with all of them, so I download it and I could see the scoreboard and be like, Hutch, 2.2 million. And it was like Kyle, like 780,000. And he was also up there. And then one day I logged back in just to see, and it was like Kyle, 31 million points. Hutch, 2 million points. And like he didn't just beat the record, he like quadrupled up on it.
Swamped it.
Yeah. And then Kyle had to go out there and be like, yeah, I just suddenly got great at this game.
Now we gotta have the video.
And Hutch was like, you paid someone to play for you. You paid someone to play for you. And
No,
Kyle's
no,
like,
no.
nope, no, I didn't. Liar.
He didn't know what I had done for the longest time. I had that score and it was like
It was absurd.
4 times, 5 times what his was. And but I had the video of it because what I did was I found one of the top 5 players in the world. I sent him my Xbox with me logged in on it and a recording device. And I had him make a video on my account, on my Xbox, on my recording device, send everything back to me. I'm like, record like an hour worth, knock out a few good ones.
make a couple videos for me.
Yeah, make a little montage. I don't think
we had that. Like our mates were playing this like fucking little basketball game in the Facebook chat like ages ago, and so I worked out if you open it on PC, then the scoreboard was just like your input score was just in the JavaScript on the thing. So I went in there and I like changed my score to be just like slightly better than my mates, and then like he'd get a little bit better, and then I'd go in there and I'd change mine to just get a little bit better, as though I was coming back and just beating his score like over and over again. And I knew he was just like freaking out, and it took me like 8 seconds to fix up. And then like eventually he was like, dude, like you play so much, like I'm never gonna beat you. So I changed like the fucking changed the top score to like, instead of being a number, it just said like Will is a faggot, and it's just like, it's like he's like,
damn, this guy's really good.
Yeah, and so I was just like trolling him, just wasting his time because I was just, just
is my
this motherfucker.
microphone working now?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's back
All
now.
right, thank you.
Yeah,
Hutch called me when you did that thing in Geometry Wars. He like I remember he called me and I didn't talk to Hutch very much. And Hutch was the king of like online gaming at the time. So it's like fucking, I don't know, Zeus calls you up and he's like, look, I got to have a word with you. And I'm like, oh my God. He's like, get me in touch with Kyle. So I reach out to Kyle. I'm like, dude, Hutch wants to talk to you. And Kyle's like, nah, I don't want to. It's like, how can you not talk to Hutch? He's got a YouTube right now. But he didn't. Makes sense.
Hutch putting the screws to me, asking me questions I don't want to be on record about. All I know is that I got Hutch's score sucks at Geometry Wars. All I know. You know what I even did to be shitty? So when Hutch, they'd all been playing what's that game? Fucking where you make the Portal, of course. They've all been playing Portal. And at the end, GLaDOS or whatever sings that song, Aperture Science.
Yeah.
And they edited that. Hutch edited that into his video, like as his scores scrolling across real slow, and it shows him on top of everybody else that's on his friends list. This like murderer's row of YouTube, and he plays that song. I put that same song on my video when I uploaded it of like 18 million or whatever crazy. I told the guy, I was like, beat him by a little. I was like, beat him by a little, just nudge him, and he's so good at the game that he accidentally did that crazy score.
He was just high playing the game mindlessly, and then he remembered, fuck, I'm supposed to be recording and losing at 3 million, and I'm at 19.
Yeah, and I'm at 19 million or whatever, and the way he dies, it's like
he just goes into the corner and dies.
It's like, shit, man, we got a conspiracy we're creating here. You could have tried a little harder on your end. I'm shipping stuff across the country.
You shipped him an Xbox to do that?
My Xbox, my hog, all the wires, some money, and what else?
Money.
Like maybe a hard drive or something, for the recording. Like everything he needed to complete.
What was your motivation?
Spite.
It's funny.
And to just watch and to watch Hutch like watch the gears turn.
So you just paid. Did you get the Xbox back?
Yeah. You remember how at the time, you got to remember, Xbox 360s had become like a dime a dozen, and I owned 8 of them because I had the chronic red ring of death thing. Every time I would send one off to get repaired, which was like weekly at times, I just go get a new one. So I had them stacked. So it was no big deal to sign into an Xbox.
$150 or something. Or they were like $100. My brother's broken. He's like, oh, I'm poor, and I went and brought him a new one. And this guy was selling 2 of them, and I'm like, fuck, I'll take 2 just in case another one breaks. Like,
yeah,
I never had the red ring.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
I fixed it by watching a YouTube video that was like, sometimes it's because of a connection that no longer is being made because something got jostled. Wrap it in a towel to reheat and melt it back to the point. And so like I'd try to play COD 4 after school and then be like, fuck, and then go get a towel and then wrap my Xbox and turn it on and then try it an hour and a half later. Sometimes it worked.
I remember hearing that trick. I never believed in it though. It
was a total bullshit like happenstance. Like, oh, it's working, and then it wouldn't work the next time or the time after.
Like putting your phone in rice. That should, like, everyone always says that. They're just like, well, back when phones weren't like waterproof, like I fucking take mine in the shower and watch porn on it now. But it's like
rice.
Yeah, you put it in rice. It's like
hitting in God's face.
Yeah, eat a dick. One of my mates has a you know those suction fucking phone mounts that you like put on the windscreen of your car.
Put in your
yeah, one of my mates has one of those in his shower. He's like, yeah, I just like to watch YouTube while I'm showering. I'm like, man, that dude's fucking beaten off in like the year fucking 2050.
Oh no, you don't
think he's beaten off to YouTube? He's watching like mammograms.
Yeah. Ooh.
Jacking off.